Well, here we are. Miriam, why don't you look around and kind of get used to things? I want you to be comfortable about it, okay? Ione, you and Babs do the same thing.
So this is the judge's chambers, huh?
Yeah, this is it.
Well, I'm glad at least we're not in the courtroom, because last time I was in a courtroom was when I divorced Paul. Back then, I would have given anything if he were dead, and now I'd give anything if he were alive, because I wouldn't have to be fighting for custody of my son today.
Miriam, we'll be seated over here probably until I call you up to the front. But I just want to repeat something to you. This is a custody hearing. It's not a trial. It's a little less formal, so I want you to relax, okay?
Oh, sure.
All right, I'll try to also. I'm sure that Charles has been all over Myers to pour it on, so we got to be prepared for just about anything.
Well, where do you want us to sit, Harold?
It doesn't really matter. You can sit anywhere until we get rolling. But, Babs, I'm not going to be calling you for a character witness.
Well, why not? I want to. I mean, I want to tell the judge what a good person Miriam is and what a louse her father is.
Gil, I don't know.
Will you let me in?
I don't know.
Stacy, please.
Gil,
I need to talk to you.
my sister's pregnant with your child. What more is there to say?
I saw Amber last night, late last night, and I need to talk to you about it, Stacy. I really do.
All right.
Stacy.
Please don't.
Look, I know how you must feel.
How do you know? Is it because you've been through it so many times with other women?
Well, that was a low blow.
I'm sorry. I thought you'd changed.
I have. When I met you. And if I have changed, it's because of you.
Then how is it that you and Amber...
Stacy, I thought you knew. It happened before we met. Well, before we got to know each other. It was when Amber and I were still sort of living with each other. Stacy, please tell me that you believe me.
I want to.
Then do, because I promise you I'm telling you the truth.
Even if it is the truth, Gil, what difference does it make? Amber's still carrying your child, and that means
It doesn't mean anything.
How can you say that?
Amber doesn't care about me. She doesn't care about me or that child. All she wants to do is hurt me and you and drive a wedge between us. She intends to have an abortion.
Did she say that?
Yes, in no uncertain terms.
And how do you feel about that?
How do I? Well, I don't know. Relieved, I guess. I haven't thought about it very much. Last night, after I saw Amber, I really wanted to come back and see you, but it was so late, and I figured that we needed time. Well, what's the matter?
You said you feel relieved. Doesn't it bother you? At least a little bit?
What, that Amber's gonna get an abortion?
Yes.
Well, how do you want me to feel? Like a proud papa? Well, I don't. I wish it had never happened. Wish I'd never met Amber.
But is that what you really want? Do you really want Amber to have an abortion?
Yes. No. I don't know. I don't need this complication in my life. I don't even know how it happened.
I'll tell you how it happened.
I know that Amber didn't even want this. She's no fool. And I'm not the first one that she's had in her life either.
Well, you're the last, and I guess that's what counts, huh?
Stacy.
Would you continue this conversation with me at another time, please, Gil?
Yeah. Okay, I guess we both need some time.
Will you
Stay.
just go, please?
I love you.
Morning, Harold.
Counselor?
Hello, Daddy.
Good morning, ma'am.
Charles, let's limit your conversation with Miriam. I think it's better all the way around.
Well, I didn't want to appear unfriendly.
But we don't want Miriam to feel too comfortable either.
Oh, all right, all right.
Charles, if you are concerned with appearances, watch the overconfidence. Now, you are struggling for the custody and the welfare of your grandson. Remember that. If he winds up with Miriam, it'll affect the rest of his life. Now, you need to show your concern about this.
All right, I see, I see.
And nothing turns a judge off faster than cockiness. Remember, you are petitioning. You're not just waiting for the judge to come around.
Okay, fine.
Fortunately, you have almost an airtight case.
My father looks so confident.
Oh, he always does, Miriam. Don't let it get to you.
I know, but he looks like he has already won.
Sweetheart, the boxing match isn't even over, so don't go declaring any winner. And just keep your eyes away from him now.
It makes me sick the way he gets to you.
Oh, Miriam, I know it says in the word to honor thy father, but your father and the Lord haven't seen eye to eye in a long time. And I tell you right now, I'd rather be in your shoes than his.
Now, Dan, what about this judge?
Well, he seems to lean more toward the traditional approach.
Well, is that good or bad?
Well, neither one, really. It just means that he may go with the traditional bias in favor of the child's natural mother. But that's just an inclination. That doesn't mean he'll rule in Miriam's favor. I'm going to ask that you be awarded temporary custody of Eric during the hearing. And then the court will appoint a social worker to investigate both you and Miriam. After they've done that, you can expect me to begin to present our case.
Well, when do I go on the stand?
Oh, I'll call you first.
Oh, okay, good.
Okay. Yeah, you look like you've relaxed a little bit. That's good.
If you only knew, Harold.
Harold, why won't you let me testify? I could do a good job.
I know you can, Babs, but it's real difficult for me to put you on the stand as a character witness when your own character might be subject to question.
Because I used to be a hooker.
That's right. Might as well zero right in on that, make everything you said in the past look like a mockery.
Now, Babs, don't you worry. The important thing is that you're here. You and I own both.
Terry, I wouldn't print anything to jeopardize your family.
Even if it's something controversial?
Well, now if something is going on that might jeopardize somebody, then maybe I should hear about it. Or what if a reporter over at the Times gets hold of this?
Okay, let's go over here and we'll talk about it.
Well, look, I don't want to pressure you or anything like that, but I sense that something is going on and maybe I can be of some kind of help.
It's not you, Jean. It's just that I feel I've got two people to protect here. Nancy and Ben. You see, Nancy's accident may have been a suicide attempt.
Oh, Mom said that she was very depressed.
She called the clinic last night and asked for Dave. He wasn't there, but Ben talked to her. She made some threats.
Suicide threats?
Yeah. Well, Ben took it seriously, of course, and he urged her to stay right where she was.
Which was where?
I don't know. I think it was some bar. The Castaway, I think. Anyway, she'd had quite a bit to drink, and by the time Ben and Russ Weaver got there, she'd already left. Well, they figured that she'd gone back to the clinic, so they went back there. And they found her just shortly after the accident had happened.
Well, it sounds to me that Nancy was pretty lucky.
Yeah, especially since Ben did a tracheotomy right on the spot, which saved her life. But,
But what, Terry?
well, once they got to the hospital, Ben did an open laryngeal exploration with stenting.
Wait, what exactly is that? I don't understand.
It's a piecing back together of the larynx. Nancy's larynx had been crushed.
Ooh. Terry, I don't see how Ben could have performed an operation like this. I mean, he doesn't have full use of his hand.
Well, he did. I think it was a miracle, and so does Alex.
So, does that mean that his hand is all right now?
No. It must have been divine intervention, because his hand is no better now than it was before.
Hey, Terry, this would make a great human interest story.
Yes, Gene, it would do that, except that the operation was performed in violation of hospital rules.
And he was supposed to have another physician there with him.
He tried, but it was very hectic that night. And Alex told him just to go ahead with it, even assisted him. But you see, Alex doesn't have the authority to give that kind of permission.
But who does have the authority, Terry?
Lester Lewis, the hospital administrator.
Well, does he know about this?
Yes, he does, and he's very upset.
I see. Well, you don't suppose that he would, take formal action against Ben, then, huh?
I think he very well could.
Well, right now, Eric is playing over at the Redlands. And if anything's on his mind, it's his father. All he knows is that he misses Paul and... Babs, I still don't think that he totally believes that Paul's dead. That makes this whole thing really seem shabby.
Well, don't go talking yourself into a pit now. You're here for Eric's sake. Now, do you think your father really cares or knows how Eric thinks or feels?
No.
Well, then, get in there and fight for him. That's what this whole thing is all about.
Babs, I want to, but my father has so much going for him and his side.
What? Money? Clout? That's not what Eric needs.
Stability, Babs.
Oh, stability, my foot! Look, you're still trying to undo all the things your father did to you all these years. And I might add, you're thinking just the way he wants you to think right now. Is that what you want for Eric?
No, of course not. But the problem is they can bring up all of these bad things about me, and I can't deny any of them.
But that's in your past, Miriam, just like my past is in my past. Look, the only thing that seems to pick you up is what Ione says, so I'm going to say it too. If you and God are really friends, you ought to put a little trust in him. You have done nothing to be ashamed of. And your father doesn't know you any better than he knows Eric. So you just march right in there and you just show him that you're not afraid of him. Him or that ambulance chasing lawyer of his, either one.
Okay.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah. I'm ready.
Worked.
All rise.
Please be seated. We are here in the matter of custody of Eric Mason. Are the petitioner and his attorney prepared to present their case?
Yes, we are, Your Honor.
Are the respondent and her attorney prepared to respond to the case?
We are, Your Honor.
All rise, be sworn in. Do you solemnly affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Would the petitioner or respondent please approach the bench?
Do either of you have witnesses not here present?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then they will be sworn in as called.
Your Honor, I have a petition for the court.
Let me see it. Mr. Webster has requested that the respondent be given temporary custody of her child through these proceedings until I have made my decision. Is there any objection to this?
Yes, Your Honor. I have a similar petition.
The petitioner has also requested temporary custody. However, it is generally the procedure in cases of this nature to grant temporary custody to the party who is already in legal guardianship of the minor. Now, in this case, Mrs. Mason is the child's guardian. Therefore, I rule that Eric Mason remain with his mother until these hearings are completed.
Good. It's the least he could do.
Aren't you going to object?
No. I expected him to do that. We'll keep our fire for farther on down the line. With what just happened, the key word is temporary.
Thanks for coming, Dad. I had to talk to you. I have to talk to someone, and you're the only one I could trust.
Look, Stacy, sweetheart. Look, if it's about Gil and Amber, I already know.
You know that she's pregnant?
As your mother told me.
Well, why didn't she tell me? Why did I have to find out from Amber?
Amber told you?
She rubbed my nose in it.
Oh, Stacy, I'm so sorry. What did Gil have to say?
He didn't know. Amber set it up so that he'd find out from me.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Come on over here and sit
Daddy, what am I gonna do?
Well, I don't think there's anything you can do except, well, let it be. Let time take away the pain.
But Dad, I love him.
Did you and Gil come to some understanding about your relationship?
Not really. Neither one of us can think straight.
Well, what about Amber?
What about Amber?
Has Gil spoken to her?
Yeah, he went to see her last night.
Well, was anything decided?
How could it be?
Stacy, I know you're not going to like what I have to say, but I think Gil and Amber should be married.
Are you serious? Gil doesn't want to marry Amber. Well, that's crazy. Gil doesn't even like Amber.
But Amber is carrying his child.
Oh, well, not for long. Amber's going to have an abortion, and it's a good thing, too. Can you imagine Amber being a mother?
Stacy, I know how you feel, believe me.
Oh, no, you don't.
I do. My heart's just breaking to see you this way, but Amber and Gil had a relationship going. Surely there must have been something there at one time.
No, Dad, nothing but sex.
Look, with time, if Gil is a responsible husband, maybe Amber will become a loving mother.
Is that what you really think? You really think that Gil and Amber should be married?
Well, I can't honestly say, Stacy. But I do know that they should both take a good long look at each other. Love can be rekindled. And every effort should be made if a baby's life is at stake. Can't you see that?
I can't see that, and I won't see it. I feel alive for the first time in my life. For the first time in my life, I'm in love with someone, and if you try to take that from me, you know where that's going to leave me.
So the brunt of this is that Ben could be penalized for miraculously saving a life?
I'm afraid so. But what's even more ironic is that Ben may have pioneered a new surgical technique. At least Alex thinks so.
Oh. Well, I would certainly like to talk to Ben if you think that's possible.
I don't know, Gene.
Hey, I'll be very discreet. All I want to do is talk to Ben. I'll talk to Alex, and eventually getting around to talking to Lester Lewis, too. I won't headline any of the conflicts or anything like that, I promise.
Well, I don't know if Ben would want to discuss it with you or not, but you can try. But please, just be careful.
I know. Before I print anything comes the integrity of my friends.
Thanks, Gene.
All right. You take care.
Okay, I will. Bye-bye.
And to think I called you because I thought you were the only person I could trust.
And I wouldn't betray that trust for anything in the world.
Then how could you possibly want Gil to marry Amber?
Because it's the only thing that makes sense.
Makes sense. What about me? Don't I make sense? Dad, I love Gil. And Gil loves me. He just told me so. And I believe him, because he doesn't treat anyone else the way he treats me. If you knew, then you'd understand. Oh, Ma.
It guess everyone knows now.
It sure seems that way.
Dave, I hope you haven't been giving Stacy some ill advice like you've been giving Amber.
If you'll excuse me, I have to get to the clinic.
Well, won't you even stay for breakfast?
No. Look, I'll talk to you later, Stacy.
Stacy, what is going on here? I heard you all the way out in the hall.
You wouldn't believe it, Mother.
Why don't you just tell me what happened?
My father, who loves me so much, is hoping with all his heart that Gil will marry Amber.
He what?
You heard me. He thinks that they should get married and live happily ever after.
I can't believe it.
I didn't either, but he's serious.
But Amber and Gil aren't in love. What kind of marriage would that make?
None. But it would make a home for their baby.
Huh. Some home. There are too many people in the world already without bringing in a child who isn't even wanted.
Tell that to him, Mom.
But doesn't he know how you and Gil feel about each other?
Of course he does. But the only thing that matters to him is that Amber doesn't have an abortion.
Well, that's just too bad. Because Amber has decided to have an abortion, and that's that. I cannot stand this self-righteous interference. I won't have it.
As is also customary procedure in such cases, I am appointing a child welfare worker from the Human Resources Commission to investigate the petitioner and the respondent. Now, any judgment that I make will be based upon his or her recommendation, together with the evidence presented to me in this hearing. Furthermore, let this party be advised that the whole test in this case is the best interest of the child, Eric Mason. If there are any witnesses present, you will please go to the anteroom and wait until you are called. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. For my first witness, I call the petitioner, Charles